Harrison from Spacing Magazine.
I was wondering how you managed to create an equally as popular online presence as the print presence.
I guess there's a number of things that makes that helps Spacing be successful online and as a blog. First of all, our audience are the kind of people who would be receptive to blogging. Like, you know, they're down with the technology involved, and probably many of them have blogs themselves, or are ready to interact online. You know, I mean, that's huge for us. And secondly, the kinds of issues that Spacing is investigating lend themselves really well to blogging. I mean, they're kinds of things that, first of all, they involve like city politics and city issues, you know, intrinsically, and so we're able to, through our blogs, start conversations about what kinds of things we should do to make the city a better place, or the people who are shaping the city's urban landscape. So the blog provides an ideal forum for that, and a great place for people to sort of register their own thoughts. So that's sort of what's made us a success, I think.
Say there was a national magazine that wants to have the same online relationship with their readers. How do you think they should go about attracting that readership?
Well, I'm not about to give our competition any tips on this, but, you know, I mean, that's a hard question to answer. You know, I mean, every magazine sort of has a different way of engaging people, but I suppose like being genuine is a good start. You know, I mean, we as Spacing, we come from a place of writing about these things, not just because we think our readers will be into it and therefore visit our blog and maybe frequent our sponsors' websites, whatever. I mean, we really care about this stuff. You know, Spacing is absolutely a labor of love for everyone involved. There are no full-time employees in Spacing. You know, we're doing it, first of all, because it provides us with like a forum for the things we really care about, and also it helps us sort of connect with the city and connect with other people who care about these same things, which help us in our careers and ambitions. But like, I mean, caring is a big part of it. I think people can spot phoniness faster now than ever, and that's especially true online. You know, I mean, it's so easy to see through a blog that isn't coming from a true place, and you know, those blogs have their value, I suppose. But I mean, if you want the kind of audience Spacing has, you better care. I guess that's the first thing.
In terms of, I guess, the persona of the blogger and someone who's writing to cater to an audience, a dedicated audience, what makes a good blogger? What qualities would they have?
Well, first of all, I think they have to recognize that a blog is like it's a two-way conversation, right? And so there's a lot of different ways to sort of indicate that you understand that in a blog. One way is like your average blog entry should be fairly well linked to other sites and resources and things around on the internet. You know, it shouldn't just be this sort of like missive that's just this block of text. There's got to be more to it than that. A good blog should either like directly or implicitly like solicit comments. You know, I mean, sometimes it's a bit pseudo if it's quite objective. Like, what do you think? Please leave your comments below. But and there's ways to sort of, you know, implicitly encourage people to do that kind of thing. You know, that there's no more rigorous checking and editing process goes into any form of journalism than magazines, right? So maybe that's a block that a lot of people in the magazine world have about blog. If you can't pass the idea that this is the start, not the end.
And in terms of, I guess, more advice that you would give to magazines that are struggling to create that online presence, that blog, what advice would you give them to get a head start?
Well, I suppose, I mean, our blog, for one thing, Spacing's blog is kind of different than the magazine. You know, it's a bit more political than the magazine. I mean, we do things on the blog that are similar to the magazine's more esoteric content, like snapshots of the hidden corners of the city and things. But the blog tends to focus more on the issues. You know, so if you're a magazine starting off, and you're similar to Spacing in that you're talking about issues and news, but also sort of minutia, for lack of a better word. You might want to decide which of your content streams are the most likely to engage people and form a blog that centers around those things. You know, I mean, surely most magazines worth their salt have at least a rough idea of who their audience is and the issues that are most likely to engage them. I mean, but it's likely that those magazines are doing that anyway in their editorial pieces and things. But and the second thing, I guess, is you have to try to target the right people within your audience who are most likely to grow a blog audience. In many ways, it could be apart from your magazine. I mean, we found with Spacing that there's a lot of people who visit our blog regularly who are certainly not subscribers to the magazine, and in some cases they'll pick it up on newsstands. But many people aren't readers of the magazine at all, but they read our blog. You know, and it's also worth considering that the blog is more likely to be read by people outside of your geographic area. You know, and so you can sort of stretch out a little bit that way. In Spacing, the magazine is very Toronto focused, but our blog we started to sort of branch out city to city, and now we've since developed a network of blogs. You know, blogs in Ottawa, Montreal, Atlantic Canada, and blogs in launch in Vancouver, where we're able to sort of reach further than we would as a magazine.